Chapter 307 Temple Demolition. The next morning, however, after the fire revolutions had already completely subsided towards the evening of the previous day, Fungar Helen himself, accompanied by his entourage, went to the big metal gate and demanded access. But since it was still very early, he was rejected, being not recognized, with the words, "At night any fool can say, 'I am the General Chief Priest Fungar Helen,' and demand instantaneous access. But if you are the great Fungar Helen, then come during the day, and we will open the gates for you, once we have positively recognized you." And Fungar said, "Good. Thus I swear to you on my life. If I will enter here during the day, all of you, together with the chief priest and underpriests, will be killed by the sword. For you delay me to do what the old God of Adam, Seth, and Hanoch has commanded me to do. Therefore it will bring you all certain death." And the guards of the gate said and shouted, "Such terror threats we know already. Therefore, just leave, because you will also not be allowed to enter during the day. And even if you were Fungar Helen, you will never be admitted, even if you would wait here for years to get in." This reply angered Fungar Helen throughout his whole being. He withdrew to the army and immediately ordered the miners to dig 6 shafts from 10 paces in front of the surrounding wall to under the wall, and then put large bags full of the strongest explosive grains under the wall, and then light them by means of the running fire on a burning thread, which burns safely and does not extinguish until it has done its duty. On this command, immediately 600 miners started their work, measured the distance accurately, and opened the earth. And when the sun rose, each section was already underneath the wall. Thereupon the explosive grain sacks were placed inside the shafts, and the fire threads were laid and ignited. And a few minutes after a terrible explosion, a large part of the wall laid spread in ruins over the area, and a wide gate was opened for the army. But when the priests and their numerous servants of this temple saw this terrible attack on their sacred wall, they fled into the mountains, but ran straight into the hands of Fungar Helen's guards, where they were immediately arrested and brought before the general. He secretly asked Mahal what he should do with these rebels. And Mahal said, "They are all of a purely infernal nature. Therefore stay with your threat, and let them all be cut to pieces." And immediately Fungar Helen commanded a division of soldiers for the task, and at once they began cutting down the prisoners, whose number was around 5,000, and not one was spared. When this operation was completed, only then did they start with the destruction of the temple, and with the coinage of the gold and silver which was found there. And all this lasted only 3 days.